Want to know what mistakes to avoid when visiting Disneyland Paris? Then this video is for you. Hi, Hannah here from AH Disney. Visiting Disneyland Paris is a magical experience, but can also be stressful, so we have put together 10 mistakes we see people make so that your trip will run smooth. Number 1. Not downloading the app before you arrive. As soon as you know you are visiting Disneyland Paris is when you need to download the app, as this is an essential tool to a successful trip. The app is not only a park map and ride time viewer, other things it helps with is with checking in for your on-site hotel. Your park tickets can be added to stop the faff of people trying to scan paper printed out tickets, which can get damaged, and a little pet peeve of ours, as they can hold up the queues at the entrance lines. The tickets can then be added to your Apple Wallet or used straight from the app. You also use the app to book other experiences, like Premier Access passes to shows and rides, and also the Royal Dream, which is a bit like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique at the Disneyland Hotel, opening soon. The app is also the only way to make dining reservations online, which brings me on to point number 2, not making dining reservations ahead of time. Some of the restaurants in the park now accept reservations 12 months in advance for guests staying on on-site hotels, so many will be full if you do not do this before you arrive. If you're staying off-site, the reservation window is 60 days before. I know it can be hard to plan a meal so far in advance when you don't really know what your day will look like, but there are so many amazing restaurants on site, especially if you want to have a meal with the princesses at Auberge de Cendrillon or with Mickey and friends at Plaza Gardens. I highly recommend booking in advance to avoid any disappointment if these are must-dos for you. Number 3, not making use of rope drop. For those unfamiliar, the term rope drop means being at the park ready in line at the gates for when it opens. We personally like to be at the gates at least 30 minutes before opening and be one of the first into the park. The reason for this is the ride times are so quiet in the morning. For example, in the Studios park, Adam and I have been able to ride Pusher's Coaster, which consistently has long waits all day, Tower of Terror, RC Racer and Ratatouille, all within the first hour of the park being open. This tip works especially well if you are staying at an on-site hotel and you get the extra magic hour in the park. So if the park is scheduled to open at 9:30, on-site hotel guests get to enter at 8:30. You can find all the opening times for the parks on the app, so check in advance for the date you arrive. Number 4, not being prepared for the weather. Paris is similar to the UK, if anything, a little more rainy. So definitely be prepared for the possibility of a rainy day, no matter what time of year you go. We always bring ponchos into the park with us, and we like to wear really big ones, which means we're able to fit our bags underneath, so they stay protected. But ponchos are also filled down small enough and fit comfortably into our bags with all our other park essentials. A pair of shoes that stay pretty much dry are a must as well, as there's nothing worse than having to walk around the park all day with wet feet. In the winter, the parks can be extremely cold, so I would recommend wearing layers, hats, scarves, gloves, especially when waiting for a parade, as it can be very, very cold when you're stood still. On the other side, Paris can be extremely warm in the summer and the air conditioning is not the best, which leads me on to number 5, not taking breaks. Even for people like me and Adam, who like to get our money's worth out of our tickets as they are not cheap, taking breaks is important. The parks can be extremely busy in early afternoon, and in the summer it can be really, really hot. And if you've been in the park since opening, I recommend taking a break. This could be head back to your hotel if it's close for a nap or a swim in the pool, or head into Disney Village for some shopping or sit and have a drink. When the parks are so busy and the queues are long, it can be really overwhelming. So to take yourself out and recharge will definitely make the time you do spend in the parks much more enjoyable. Number 6, eating at regular meal times. We all have our food routines, but if you can switch it up for your trip, it will save time and stress. We try to have lunch early, whether it be eating at quick service restaurants around the park or food booths when the festivals are on. If you ate lunch between 11 and 12, or dinner early or super late, you are more likely to have short queues and not have to stalk tables trying to find a seat. This will save on so much time overall and leave you free to explore the parks when others are eating. Number 7, not making use of Mastercard cardholder benefits. If you are a Mastercard holder, you can get access to premium seating to shows and parades at Disneyland Paris for you and 4 others. All you have to do is go to City Hall in the Disneyland Park or Studio Services in the Walt Disney Studios Park around 2 hours before the show time and ask the cast members. You will then receive a ticket. Then all you have to do is arrive 15 minutes before the show starts, show your ticket, and there will be a section reserved showing the Mastercard logo. This saves on so much time, as shows like The Lion King and Mickey and the Magician often have people queuing for over an hour before they start. And I guarantee there'll be some people in that queue who definitely have Mastercards who do not know this. Number 8, expecting to do everything. While it isn't technically impossible for hardcore theme parkers to try and do everything in one trip, for the mere mortals, this isn't a reality, which is why I highly recommend accepting that before you make your trip. It is best to make your list of must-do rides, shows, and snacks before leaving so that you can concentrate on fitting them into your trip. Then anything else you do is a bonus. This way, you can take the pressure out of your trip and enjoy it without rushing around, burning yourself out, which is no fun for anybody. Number 9, leaving the park after the fireworks. I know that once the fireworks are finished, the parks are closed, but it is thousands of people trying to leave the park at the same time, and that is a no from me. I know it seems like the right thing to leave immediately, especially if you want to beat traffic or get the bus back to your hotel so you're not waiting for the next one. But if you can find a bench in Central Plaza and just sit on it and let everyone leave, it will be so much easier. This also means that you can get some brilliant pictures in front of the castle with very, very few people around. Number 10, not joining a ride queue just before park closing. Another way to beat the mass exodus is the rides don't stop letting people into the queue until the park closing. So if the park closes at 10 p.m, you can still join the queue at 9:59. We do this every trip so that we can try and be riding Thunder Mountain as the fireworks go off, and we are successful most times. Please note, Fantasyland closes early for setup for the fireworks show, but this will work everywhere else. So if there's a ride you have missed, this is the perfect time to try to get on it. So that's it, our 10 mistakes to avoid when visiting the parks. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Thank you for being our guest, and until next time, just keep swimming.